Hey y'all.
Come through, Red. We red tonight, huh?
Right in the spirit of the Lord's day
Hey y'all.
here.
Hi. Hey, cutie.
Hey, everybody out there in virtual land, how y'all doing tonight? We see you on here on our Facebook page, on YouTube, on all of our social media platforms. So just take a minute to share the live, start a watch party, let your friends know, hey girls, we about to do some girl chat here tonight. So come on over to this Facebook page. And also let us know where you're watching from. Let us know where you watch from. I know we had a sister from Hawaii a couple weeks in a row, so prayerfully we'll see her back, virtually. But just make sure you share the live. We'll be getting started in a couple minutes. We'll give you some time to come on in, to get your tea ready, to get your fascinated. You see, we're ready for our tea. This is our virtual tea, the high tea remix. Come on here, the high tea remix. I don't have my gloves, but I have my
Listen. Wait, I have my tea.
and it's steep.
I have a whole setup.
You do? Let's see your setup, okay? Come
I
on.
don't know how to show y'all. Like I was just trying to figure out how do I show y'all. Right. Okay, I took a picture and posted it, but I'll show you like my little plate.
Okay.
There's my plate.
Okay.
I know, right? And I have my teapot.
You're
Yeah.
so cute.
I'm ready. I'm
Listen,
ready.
listen,
Oh,
I got one of
come through,
those.
Ebony.
Y'all know those silver teapots, them old ones? That's what I got. So I just, I got this cup, I got this teacup for Mother's Day, and you put your little loose leaf tea in here. So I did that. And it's my first time, so prayerfully it comes out right. So I got my loose, you can see the little drawstring. Got my loose
What
leaf
kind of
tea
tea
in
did
here.
you do?
It's called electrified lemonade or electric lemonade or some,
Come on,
Oh,
Electric.
come
saying.
on, electric.
So I guess I'm supposed to take this steeper thing out of here.
Yeah.
So
So
we'll do
take the
that.
cap over. Yeah, when you're ready, we'll walk through it. Because I
Yeah.
got mine too. Look, I got that one too. Look, I came ready.
And I have my purple one, but I was gonna use this one, so I'll use my purple one for the next time. I got my purple one like you. So
Listen, so I didn't do a fascinator, but I got new glasses. New glasses.
come on, glasses, real cute.
I'm not gonna talk about my fascinator issues. I had it last week and I put it in a nice place.
Away.
Where that
It
is now?
disappeared.
But you know what? If you hadn't said anything, I wouldn't have noticed that there wasn't one.
Yeah. I
Yes,
thought,
I took a cute red ribbon and I wrapped it around. I made it work.
Resourceful.
I made it
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
yeah. So yeah, ladies, y'all ready for tonight? We have some
work.
awesome things planned for tonight. Now, a couple of weeks ago, well, I'll say last week, we had a good time. We talked about makeup and catfish. So if you weren't on the live last week, you can go and view it. So go and view it, and you can, get what we talked about then. 2 weeks ago, we talked about some deep stuff that kind of got us to where we are today, or to what we're going to talk about today. So we talked about C cups, we talked about teacups. So on the live, some of our seasoned saints were kind of like, ugh, nasty, and I'm like, why would they say these things are nasty? These are things that ladies like and need. So we talked about, afterwards, we said we need to have them on the call so they can kind of give us some of their wisdom,
Yes.
So
Yes.
tonight we'll be doing just that. Our title is Girl Chat with a Cup of Wisdom. So it's our high tea remix. So we're putting a spin on our high tea. We had our first high tea, last year in around the same time.
Yeah.
So fun.
Actually, tomorrow was supposed to be the actual day of our second annual tea. So that's why we're coming to you on Friday. And you might say, a Friday tea? Yes, we are out of the box. There are no more boxes. So we are out of the box. We're having a Friday night virtual tea party. Okay. So
Okay.
I want ladies, if I know you're on here, so I don't know if you can get off and get on and show us a picture of your tea or your fascinator. We want to make sure that you're joining in and you have your fascinator. You looking all fancy too, at least from the waist up. You know, I got on my shirt, but you don't know what I have on at this bottom. You know,
Ooh, child.
Ciao.
So again, ladies, share the live, start a watch party, and take pictures. Take pictures and let us know. If you can't do it now, wait, when we come off the live, then, you know, just make sure you show us your pictures.
Are we going to do a selfie?
Yeah, that's the selfies that we're talking about. So let's do our selfies.
Let's do
I
a
take selfies every week and I forget to post.
I
do. Ebony, how are you taking a selfie?
Well, I'm posing just in case somebody decides to take a screenshot out screen. I'm ready for them.
She's ready. She's ready. Okay, that's good.
See? Yes.
Y'all are crazy.
You look beautiful, Pastor Lovin. I love it.
Thank you. We all look beautiful. We're gorgeous.
Yes. Yes.
We are fearfully and wonderfully made. That's what we talked about last week. Being fearfully and wonderfully made, you know?
I love it.
So
I love it.
Okay, you taking selfies?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you was talking to somebody. It looked like you was talking to somebody. I'm like, So before we get into what we want to talk about, you know, every week this live serves as a positive reprieve to what's going on in the world. And so before this week, it's really been the whole COVID-19 and people dealing with it, people, you know, contracting it. We've had deaths that we know of and some we don't know of. But we use this chat as a positive reprieve. And we know things that's been happening this week, you know, that's going on in our world. We're not ignorant to that fact. We're not ignoring it. We're not happy about what's going on. But as we do each week, we're going to use this time as just to letting our hair down and just to get rid of, because I know sometimes you can be inundated with the TV and what's going on in the news and who did what and what, you know, riots are here and all of this and all of that. And so sometimes we just need to step away. So this time we want to use this hour and a half, however the Lord leads us, to kind of just step away from it all, take a fresh breath, just laugh, have some girl chat. And so that's what we're going to do in woosah, Brandy said, just take a deep breath. And so we're going to use this time, our girl chat with a cup of wisdom, to just do that. Take a deep breath, okay? And tonight is going to be amazing, okay? Our talks before this came out so good, and it's like, oh my goodness, we have to talk about this. We have to talk about this, and we have to kind of dispel some things that women might be holding against people. I'll just leave it at that. We'll get more into it later. But with that, am I finished with all the preliminaries, ladies?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we have two awesome, amazing seasoned saints in our midst. Okay. They're in
about
the
to be amazing.
They're in our midst. They're amazing. I love that. Amazing.
They are.
And so they've been on our live, I believe, since we started the live.
I think so.
They've been commenting, they've been saying nasty and all of this different stuff. You know, so we wanted to kind of chat with them to get some of their wisdom tonight. So, Jason, if you can bring in Mama Vaughn, Mama Elder Vaughn, and Mama Marilyn. Bring them in to our live. There's Mama Vaughn. She quick to the punch. See?
They ready.
They are
ready. Now,
come on.
I'm good. There's some.
Come on, Fascinator.
gonna say, bring your camera
Come
down.
on, Paul.
And the pearls,
Come on. She doing it. I love it. Listen,
Yes.
ladies on this Zoom chat call, I want to put out a disclaimer, okay? These two seasoned saints, they tell it like a TI is, okay?
Yes, they do.
And what they say, straight with no chaser. If you
None.
was a
None.
stripper back in the
no
day,
chaser.
straight with no chaser. So I want you all. I think we might be having a little issues with Mama Marilyn getting her video on, but we're gonna wait until we
To
can
help,
see
yeah.
her.
Everybody went to help. Hey, Mama Bear, you talking to us yet?
Hey, KK.
Hey, Mama Boy.
Hey,
You cute.
thank you.
Look at her. She got
Take
her
the
braids.
pearls on.
She got her braids and her fascinator. Look at her. Come on.
I'm a
Not
lady.
ready.
In my
You a lady?
Sinead.
I'm a lady. Come
She's
on,
a
Sinead.
lady.
Come on,
Ready for
Sinead.
what's about to happen. We are not ready for what's about to happen.
She
We
said
are
she
not.
ready.
There you go,
Come
Marilyn.
on. Okay, come on,
Hey.
Yeah.
Come on here.
Listen, they ready, y'all. They ready.
Listen.
Are you ready on this Zoom call? Ladies, if you're
Y'all not ready.
I want you to type in the chat, I'm ready. Type in, I'm ready. Okay.
Lord.
I am ready. So listen, before we start and get into the meat of everything, I want you two young ladies to kind of introduce yourselves. Tell us just a little bit about yourselves, and then we'll go into the questions. We go into the meat.
Who's first?
You can go first.
Hi, lady.
Hey, Miss Marilyn.
Marilyn.
This is Marilyn Ross. I've been coming to Lifeline for it was a year back in March, but I didn't join until, was it July? I joined when God pushed me up there. But anyway,
Come on.
I like Lifeline. I do.
You like us?
I like what's going on at Lifeline. There is not a dull moment at Lifeline, okay?
What about that?
I love it.
Okay. You left out just one little part.
What part?
You
did.
got some children?
I have Ebony.
Okay.
I have a son, Jawan. He lives in Florida.
Okay.
And then I have some grandchildren that go to Lifeline, Sanaa and Dexter, and Jahai is in college. And okay, Dorothy Stigall, that's our other mother. She goes there, and Rhonda and Keith and Kyle, they dance when they be praising and worshiping. Right?
Dancing brothers.
Yes.
Right, the Dancing Brothers.
And then I have a great niece that goes there.
You
Now,
do.
she had COVID. She was on quarantine for 14 days, and Lifeline prayed for her, and she is good. Okay.
Yes.
Man,
Listen.
And
That's
she is
awesome.
good. Yes.
That's awesome. Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Yvonne Royal. I am the mother of Jason Royal and the fabulous mother of Pastor Reggie Royal. I'm married to Billy Royal. Okay, what are you doing? I'm married to Billy Royal. I've been married to him for 46 years. Yay!
Oh, wow.
And I have 4 great grandchildren that I love.
Okay.
Awesome.
She didn't mention me at all, but that's okay. That's
Oh, and I have my daughter-in-law. I'm
Listen.
sorry, baby.
You see me sip my tea. I sip my tea.
Listen, I
I'm
told
sorry.
y'all weren't prepared for what's going to happen tonight, okay? And this is just the start of what's going to happen tonight. So, ladies, we wanted to bring you all on just to kind of talk about some things. So, like I said, 2 weeks ago, we talked about some female things that we dealt with, and I talked about the cup and all of this stuff. And you all have some interesting perspectives about that. So we thought about it. It was like, well, let's bring them on to kind of see what they thought about some things. So I know as women, as young women, we always look, well, not just as a woman, you look to your mother for her to teach you different things and to train you up, you know, in the ways of the world, the ways of the Lord. And so we were like, some things we didn't get from our mothers, you know, but I want to pose this question to the both of you. What's one thing that you wish your mother had taught you? Maybe something that you learned the hard way. What's one thing you wish she had taught you?
Well, for me, I think that my mom taught me all that she knew what she knew. So it wasn't a one thing that she didn't taught. She taught me everything that I need to know is what I did with what she taught me. So if I learned something the hard way, it's because I did not listen to what she taught me.
Oh.
So it was a lesson in that for me. For example, she taught me to stay away from the little boys and all this stuff. And, you know, and I was sort of the, you know, the nerdy little girl, I guess. And okay, stop it. So I was sort of the nerdy little girl, but I got pregnant in my senior year of high school.
Wait,
So that was a lesson. It wasn't she didn't teach me.
No.
The
nerdy girl got pregnant. The nerdy girl that didn't go to parties, that didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't do none of that. But it's one thing I did do. So, and I got pregnant. And I had a baby right after I graduated from high school. So that was a lesson I had to learn. So I had this baby. Now what? But I did what I had to do. So I learned the lesson. So I mean, I think our parents teach us what we need to know, and all that they can teach us. But it's what we do with what we're taught.
That's a good way, a point of view. I love that.
Yeah, that's good. Mama Mary.
Well, okay, I am number 5 of 6 girls, okay? So I think my mother was like 32 when she had me. So I'm like on the tail end of the scope. But anyway, yeah, she taught us what she knew and then some, but she didn't say you could get pregnant messing with the boys. They danced around it. But if you say, look, if you eat that apple and the seed come out, it's gonna bother you. They didn't say that. You know, they say, well, you know, when you started your monthly, they say, now you can get pregnant. How? You know, what are you talking about? They didn't go all the way, okay? So in the meantime, my first encounter, I did get pregnant. And 9 months later, he is here, okay? To the date, 9 months to the date, he is here. He'll be 48 in December, okay? And
48 years ago, that's when you did it?
That's when I did for the first time. For the first time.
How did you say for the first time?
For the first time. March 13th, 1972. He was born December 13, 1972. I was a sophomore in high school. I got a job that next September. I worked from then. When I graduated high school, I had been working almost 2 years, okay? With a baby, okay? Who was almost 2 years old.
Wait a minute. Wait, I don't know if y'all got what she just said. She remembered the date that the seed was conceived.
It was a Sunday night.
Wait, no, stop.
On the Sabbath.
Yes, Pastor London, yes.
Yes.
Were you a church girl?
Born and raised in the same church.
Church girl for a while.
Same here.
Yes.
I don't remember the day it was conceived because it was so many days.
Oh, Lord.
Lord Jesus.
Hey,
I don't remember the exact day.
There's some real good tea.
Born and raised in the same church, okay?
Mhm.
I wasn't
But you
ready.
know what?
Yeah.
So can I just say this? I really appreciate your honesty in this
Yes.
because
Yes.
how many times, are you having a conversation? Mom, I appreciate you actually sharing that with me pre this, because how many times do you have the conversation and you want to know, more about that, and that your parent went through some things to help you to know that, you don't have to go through everything that they went through.
Right.
You can avoid some things, you can go around. So I truly appreciate you guys for being real and being honest and sharing.
That's good. Now, did you all share? I know you, Ebony, you said she shared with you. Mama Vaughn, did you share with Jason and Reggie about anything that you've experienced to kind of help them navigate through their lives?
No, I haven't. No, I have not.
Okay.
I
Why
really
not?
haven't. I always wanted a girl. And I think if I had a girl, it would have been different. But I never really shared with them the experiences that I went through.
Now, did you think that that it wouldn't be relevant for them, or you just didn't know how to share it?
I think I didn't know how to share with them, but I did share, I told them about, don't get a girl pregnant and stuff like that, but I guess I didn't know how, because coming up in my household with my mom, it wasn't that we didn't love each other. I was the oldest of 9, but we didn't have that hugging and saying I love you all the time.
We didn't either.
So when I had my kids, I didn't have that with them either. I love them. We'll do anything for them. I made sure of that. But we just wasn't a hugging and I love you type of family.
But I think you mentioned that you didn't know how to share it with them, but I think you did. You told them what your mom told you. Don't go around, them boys. You told them don't go around them girls and get a girl pregnant. So you share with them what you knew and what you have been through. So
I shared what all I knew. That's what I said. My mom taught me what she knew. So I don't think it was nothing that she missed teaching me. It's what I got and what I did with it. Even when I got pregnant, I was too scared to come and tell her that I was pregnant. So when I went to the doctor, I was crying to the doctor. I'm like, you got to write a note to my mom. You got to write this note and let her know that I'm pregnant. So I went in the house and I eased her the note and I stood back. It is what it is, Yeah. So now we got this baby. And thank God I was with somebody that stayed there with me. We both had jobs and we did what we had to do. We grew up fast because now we got this baby to take care of. And I think we did an excellent job.
Well, come through with your excellent job.
You did an excellent job. You did.
Yes.
I think it was something about these Sundays, because Elder Walton on here saying she conceived on a Sunday too.
What was y'all doing on Sunday?
It was something about these Sundays with these church.
I was at church all day on Sunday, so I know I didn't do it on a Sunday.
I was supposed to go back. I was supposed to go back to church Sunday evening, and I didn't. Okay.
Oh Lord, you cut the program.
We got it in whenever my grandmother went to sleep.
But I got home in time when everybody else was going in. I was going in the house too. Okay.
You fell in line.
You couldn't be late, and you couldn't come in by yourself. Everybody left together. You came back together. Okay.
Okay, y'all covered for each other.
Was doing it when grandma was asleep?
No.
Yeah, see, I wasn't the person out in the streets. I was always in the house on the couch. See, that couch is a dangerous thing.
Tell us about the couch.
And I was
look at you sipping the tea.
I was with my mom in 7 or 8, and then I was living with my grandma. So basically, I was with my grandmother the most of the time. And grandmas go to bed early. You got company. And you on that couch. And that's how Pastor Reggie got here.
Mama Rob didn't even know, did she?
She didn't even know. She didn't know what was happening.
I cannot. I'm not ready.
Well, you better get ready, because this is real.
we talked about those church girls in them skirts and all that.
You did say that.
We talked about
Yeah.
it. It's true.
And y'all was calling us nasty.
Right.
We was doing fine. No, I mean, well,
Yeah.
maybe.
You know what? The only thing, because y'all did some stuff that we didn't do. You know, it's
Yeah.
okay. We were taught that you wore the napkin. I never wore tampons. I tried it one time. That was it. I didn't wear them. And then we were taught that it's supposed to come out. It's supposed to come out. It ain't supposed to be up in there. Okay.
Thank you.
Now that's what we were taught. You know,
Even if it comes out a lot, you got to stop it from coming out a lot.
well, I mean, that's why you had your own napkins. You know, you had as many napkins as you
But
need. You know?
y'all, you're talking about a cup that's holding it all day.
You know, and they say you're supposed to let this stuff come out, you know? So, you know, and I never shared my napkins, okay? You had to get your own, okay? You had to have your own. You ain't getting none. No.
Now, so Mama Marilyn, is there something that you wish you would have taught your children that you didn't teach them?
I wish I had a man in my house. When my father died, that kind of left my son without guidance, okay? Because his dad really wasn't in his life and my dad was there and he needed more, you know, he needed more of a man to help him out, you know, although they went to Boy Scouts and stuff, you know. But a lot of these guys are not helping these young boys do nothing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you know, they put on a good front, okay? But no. And then, like, if you have a boyfriend, you know, he'll try and come to your house and take over. No, you can't come over here. I'm sorry, because I got a son and you're not going to tell my kids what to do, okay? So that's just it. Anyway, so you just, you know, if I was going to see a guy, I saw him in the streets, okay? And that's it. But this is my house, okay?
So you wasn't bringing no man in and out of the house. Okay.
Very, very, very rare, okay? He had to
So
be
when
some
did
kind of
you-
special.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask this because I think this is a big question a lot of women want to know. When do you introduce a man to your children?
If I think he's going to be kind of, if I think he's going to be kind of all right, maybe. If I don't think so, no.
So every week you don't have Uncle Jimmy and then Uncle
No,
Jimmy, then Uncle Tony.
No. I don't even have any uncles, so we wouldn't even have Uncle Jimmy no way, okay? No.
Hey, Miss 50 Ski on this computer.
No, I don't have any brothers and I don't have any uncles, okay? So it's just all girls.
Okay. Because I know some ladies use the term, this your uncle.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah, and so how do I know if this is the dude to bring home to the kids?
Okay, in our case now, we have to consult God now. See, back then, you know, I wasn't trying to consult God, okay? You know, you was trying to do what you do, okay?
Yeah, the Holy Spirit will let you know when to introduce them to your kids. I didn't have that issue because I only had one man in my life.
Really, child?
That was the only one.
I totally agree. So if you guys don't know that I had Jahai before me and Dexter got married, and I've known Dexter all my life. However, we were reconnected when we got back together this last time, and Jahai was 1 and he had a daughter that was 1. So we hung out for a while, but it took me maybe like a month to actually introduce him. And I think no, I take that back. It was probably like 2 weeks. And I tell you why, because after our first date, I felt very comfortable. And then we started seeing each other every day. So I would go after work and I came home. I told my mom, I was like, Mama, I think I'm in love real soon. Oh my God. But I had been praying to God. I was like, look, I can't do this again. I can't have another guy to break my heart. And now that I have a son, I cannot have a man that's in and out of his life. So if you're going to send me somebody, it needs to be for real.
Come on and tell God
I'm
what
one and
you
I'm
want.
done. And I did. Like I had a list and I
You
talked to the
had
Lord
a
about this
list?
list. Yes, I did. I talked to him about this list and what this man needed to be for me and my son.
Mm.
And Dexter has proven to be all of that. And he even
And
adopted Jahai.
he's such a good guy. He is such a good guy. Yes, he
Come
is.
on.
So we
He is such a
became
good guy.
one family. There is no difference in between our children. Our children are our children. No,
Yeah.
even though our oldest daughter has another mom, but that is my daughter. And he adopted Jahai, and that
Yeah.
is his son.
Come through.
This is
Woo.
good.
Amen.
I like what Elder Yvonne said. She mentioned about when I asked the question, she mentioned that her mom taught her what she knew. And so when we had our chat after like last week or whatever, Sharetta brought up a great point that because sometimes, and I don't know if it's just our age or millennials, but sometimes we can resent our moms for what they didn't teach us or what we had to learn on our own.
Mhm.
But Sharetta, I think me and Kay was like, yeah, this kind of helped us to kind of throw all of that away. And Kay, you can help me if I'm misinterpreting what she said. But she said that our mothers took us as far as they could go.
Yes.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
they let us know what they knew. They didn't hold anything back. They let us know what they knew. They couldn't take us any further. And now our job as daughters is to take them further because we're going further. So I thought that whole statement was like mind blowing. I mean, it was a small statement and it's something that you know already. But for her to say that, it's like now we can't hold any grudges against, what my mama didn't teach me, or I wish she had did this, or I wish she had did that. What she did, what she knew.
You only can teach what you know. You only can teach what you know. I taught my kids what I knew. And I look back and there's things I probably could have taught them. I didn't know myself. So I taught them what I knew. Now I expect them to do different with their kids, which I can see that. And even like the love piece I was telling you, that's one thing I wish I had taught them more of the love in the house. I didn't do it. So I can't go out with spilled milk. And even with, I can see my boys, they're more like, I think all four of us like introverts. And I can see that in both of them. I can
all of
both
them.
of them. They and I can teach them the relational piece, being relational with people on the outside. I didn't teach them that. So I think that's why we are introverts. You might not think we are, but we are.
Y'all not.
You don't think so?
Tell them.
You don't think so?
No.
Tell them what Pastor Reggie used to do standing by the gate as a kid.
Yeah, because we were like me. I was always, like I said, nerdy. He would just stand outside on the side of the building, and if people come past, he would just hit them. And just hit them. And just hit them. My friend across the street, she called me, she say, you need to come outside and get this boy because everybody passing by. He hitting them, But he wasn't the type to go out. Now, Jason, whole nother story. But he wasn't the type to go out and do this. It was like, so I knew at a young age, it was something on him that was different.
Did he hit him and say something?
No, he was just hitting them. So
he was passing on the Holy Spirit. Yeah, he was passing on the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Laying hands at a young age.
Right.
Literally.
And I agree, because I have this saying, and I'm sure a lot of people my age or that's had, children or whatever, say, I want to teach my children better or more than what I learned. I want to do better for them than what I've gotten. So that's what you said. You wanted your children to do better.
You only can do what you know. Right. You only can do what you know. And it's okay to say that you don't know. But it's okay to say that.
Yeah.
But here's the key.
It's okay.
When we were coming up, things were different. Okay.
Yep.
Everybody in the house ate the same. We did the same. You had your own clothes. You had your own this, that, and the other. Okay. Even though we were all different, and a lot of our parents, okay, like if we all went to school and we had the same teacher in school, okay, So if I had the same teacher in third grade that my other sister had, the teacher would say, "Oh, so you Barbara Ketchum's sister?" "Yes, I am." "Well, you don't act like her," because I'm not her. You know, so you can't get, you can't, even though we come out the same house, everybody got their own brain. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Everybody come out of the house, they got their own voice, you know? So you can't put on me what my sister did or my sister didn't do, you know? Or, well, you don't act like the other ones, because I'm not the other ones, you know? I am who I am, but I had to learn that early. I was one of the only sisters who climb trees and jump fence, and I was the first one in the family to wear a pair of pants because I would tear my dresses up, okay? Because and then we had to sew our own clothes and stuff. Yeah, because I was out there playing with the boys. Yes, I was a tomboy. Okay.
On Sundays after.
No.
Oh, that was one time.
Nope, that was one
Right.
time.
That was one time, right? I forgot.
And let me tell you, that one time saved my life, Kay, because I could have been. Most of my friends from back in the day are either dead and on drugs. Okay.
What?
That one time saved my life. Okay. And I tell God, thank you for that. Yes, because I had a job, I had things to do. I couldn't run the streets with a baby. Who's gonna babysit?
Mama wouldn't let you. Miss my dear wasn't going for that.
And I wouldn't even ask nobody to babysit. That was my baby, okay? That was it. And no, we didn't. Our parents didn't. They showed us how they loved us by going to work every day, taking care of you. Everything was paid for, okay? Even when we went to work, I never had to pay rent, okay? You buy your own little stuff. So I didn't charge my kids rent. You buy that little stuff that you like, okay? Them little nails and that little stuff you like, you buy that. You take care of that. No. And you save your money, so if you want to go do something, you go do it, okay? And I didn't give them allowance either, because we were always going somewhere, always doing something. No, you don't get no allowance. This is what you're supposed to do.
You don't need no allowance.
No, because we were always going places. We were always doing things.
So I didn't need an allowance because we was going somewhere?
Yeah, we did something all the time. We were always.
So I was never not with you.
We did something, and even when they went somewhere, they had money and stuff. No, you don't get no allowance for making an A. You're supposed to make an A.
That's your reasonable service. Come on.
Look, you're supposed to do this, And that's it. Our parents, they showed us love by taking care of us, okay? And no, I really started loving and hugging on my mother after I got like 40, okay? And I would tell her, look, y'all didn't hug us, so I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna feel like this, I'm gonna sit in your lap. I'm gonna feel this way because this is what I needed, okay? I used to sit in her lap. I used to do things for her and everything. And when she left this earth, I was not upset about anything that I did. We did it all. I did it all.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. I know, because I know for me, for my mom, she was the same way. She was not a lovey-dovey person at all. And that's how I was raised. Right. And what's funny is it was my girls that changed it for me and then kind of went back and changed it for her too, because Brianna is a love bug. She's always up under you. She always wants hugs, always wants kisses. And I'm just like, girl. But nanas, nanas are completely different with their grandkids than they are with their children. When Brianna came along, all of a sudden it was, and I have to tell her, because like every time she gets off the phone with Brianna talks to my mom every single day. Okay. Every time she gets off the phone with her, she says, okay, I love you. My mama ain't never got off the phone and told me that. And I told her, I said, Ma, it hurts my feelings that that's not how you tell me goodbye. And she was like, well, you never told me you wanted me to. I'm like, well, I have to ask you to. And now she says it. And it's so funny because she'd be like, okay, love you, bye.
Let me get it out.
Right. But so I think even once you understand that they've done as much as they can, it's also, you can still tell them what they need, what you need, because they'll give it to you. They're willing to give it to you. So it's been cool to watch that. She has softened so much because of her grandchildren.
I think it's really, really cool because I think I had this conversation with my mom on some things just growing up because she didn't have that touchy-feely, affectionate type of relationship with her parents. So with us, with girls, she had nothing but girls. So with that, it was always, oh, I show you because I buy you things. You don't have to want for anything. You do this, you do that. She never was like the huggy type that oh, I'm a touchy feely, I'm trying to patch you up. She was just a straight shooter. She was just bold. She just hit it straight on the head. She wasn't sugarcoat nothing. But my father, on the other hand, was the nurturing one. He was the one that came and was, hey, let me smooth this over. Your mama is something else. But, he would do that. But I had a strong conversation with my mom, like I think when I was early in my adult life. And I just talked to her. I was sitting on the stairs. She was in the kitchen cooking. And I was like asking her, why did you do these different things? You had girls, it should have been a little different. And she just expressed like, I didn't know. That's how I was. I don't know. I was just doing what I was taught to do. I seen that in my house. That's why I thought it should be. And she apologized because she didn't know that it affected us the way that it did. So with that, I think, they go, as LD Yvonne said, they go as far as what they know.
Yeah.
And with that,
They go as far as they know.
Great freedom comes from that, of even just having just past things like I missed that with my mom. But after that, the relationship was different, very much different.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can build. You can also build on that because with me, I was with my grandma. We were in the same building, but I was the oldest of 9. So I always, from probably 7 on up, I lived with my grandma and my granddad. So I didn't really build a relationship with my mom. We didn't have that relationship. As I got older, it was the same way. And I didn't even know how to talk to her or confront her. So as I got older, and it was the Holy Spirit. And I had relationships with other people's mom and didn't have one with mine. And I'm like, it just didn't sit right in my spirit. I'm like, this is not right. And in 1 year I said, I'm going to build the relationship with my mom. We had no relationship. I said, I'm going to start picking her up. I started picking her up. We started going out. We started going to dinner. We started talking and have a conversation. And now, hey, that's my best friend. We roll all the time now. I have no problem with that. But before, because she didn't raise me, I was always around my grandmother. But that just shows you things can change. You have control. You have control of your life, of the world around you. So I could have let that just went on and went on and went on. And right now I wouldn't have a relationship with mom. I'm like, no, the Holy Spirit put that in me. You need to build a relationship with your mom. I cut everything else off and everybody else off. And I built that relationship. I controlled my world. This is how I want my world. So I controlled it. And I spoke it out of my mouth.
No, I was just going to say, I think some of us, it's not all of us, because it sounds like everybody here has had a moment where you've had a talk. But a lot of times, it takes a while to have that talk. It takes a minute to get to a space where you're mature enough or even brave enough in some instances. Because listen, who was talking to mama? You ain't got no discrepancies.
You're right. You're right.
You
Girl, this was 6 months ago for me. It took a long time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and so it takes like a huge heart and braveness and courage to have those conversations, and even just to know that you can. And so many of us haven't had them yet.
And it's very uncomfortable. It's not comfortable at all. It's not comfortable at all.
What's not comfortable?
In my senior year of high school, I actually wanted to go in the military.
What?
And I was gonna let my parents, sign my son over to my parents, and, until I did my basic training. And then I was gonna come back and pick him up. Had everything set, right? So when I asked my parents to sign the papers, my dad says, the service ain't no place for a woman. I'm like, well, what kind of place is it? So then, and I'm like, well, you need to explain to me. But he never said that in the service, in the military, they mistreat women. He didn't say that, okay? Now, that's what he should have said. So I had a real bad attitude with my parents from that day Oof, it took about 10 years for me to get it together, okay? Because I ended up going to DeVry, and then I went to Robert Morris. You know, I wasn't doing what I wanted to do, you know? So it took me a long time to tell them how upset I was because you guys didn't tell me this, and I wanted to do this, but you said, you know, you wouldn't just open your mouth and tell me, you know, that this is what I need.
They didn't have the words, Miss Marilyn. He didn't have the words to explain that to you.
No, he didn't. But then, you know, he looked at me and said, you know, you should stop. No, I shouldn't stop. I need to let you know this is how I feel. So I can go on with my life, okay? So we can have a better relationship. You know, I say, okay, this is what we need. This is what I need, you know, because in order for me to grow and to be better with my kids and my sisters and their kids, I had to get that out. And once I got it out, it was so much better. It was so much better. I mean, it took about 10 years.
But what do you say to the women that are not there yet? Because it sounds like I said, it sounds like each of us have kind of had a conversation. So what do you say to the women that are not ready, who don't think they're ready? Because they may be ready, but don't have the courage yet.
Ready to have a relationship with their parent? Is that what you asked?
The conversation.
The conversation.
And that conversation makes the relationship, because a lot of people are disconnected because it's like
you just got to make up in your mind that this is what you want. And you make it up in your mind. And that's what I did. It took a while. And I had to keep speaking it out of my mouth. I had to keep speaking it. I'm going to build a relationship with my mom. I'm going to build a relationship with my mom. And it's just like cold turkey. I'm like, boom, this is it. And I started. And from that day, it just built. You just got to make it up in your mind. It's all up here.
And a lot of times, if your parents fuss at you, they really love you, but they just don't know how to say it. But they would fuss. And I'm like,
say that again.
If they fuss at you, like if our parents would fuss at us, they would really want to talk to you about something, but they didn't know how to do it, okay? Because when my mom found...
Take a moment,
you know,
receive that word.
You know, my mother didn't know, agree with that. She didn't know I was on birth control pills until she was snooping in one of my drawers. And she saw them in the brown bag and she looked in there and pulled them out. Then she put them back. I said, you should ask me what's in there. I would have told you. Those are birth control pills.
But I think too, you have to come to a place in making up your mind that you want the relationship.
Right, exactly.
You have to come to terms is that they may not apologize because they don't know it was wrong.
Exactly. So
you have to make peace with yourself, like, hey, I'm releasing this. But they may not fully get what damage that they've caused. And I think you have to be at terms with that. Like, it's not to get the apology, it's to release yourself.
Right.
Exactly.
I was gonna say too.
And when we were coming up, my oldest sister had 2 doubles. She graduated from high school at 15.
Okay.
She was out of her league, okay? Because at 15, you should have been in school, but she had graduated, was in junior college, and she was with a whole different group of people, okay? Different age.
Baby.
So she died when she was 43 years old. And her husband was like 7 years older than her. So nobody else in our family got a double. I don't care how smart you were. Nobody else. No, you were not getting a I don't care how the principal came and talked or whatever.
This is the pot roast conversation. This right here. This is
nobody else is getting a double.
You're like, you can't get a double. Grandma said you can't have a double. Why can't I have a double?
Stay with your league, because it take you out of character. If you're 15 and you have graduated high school and then you go to college and everybody else is 18, 19, 20, they doing things that 15-year-olds are not doing.
I can't imagine.
Oh, yeah.
So that sets you up. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And when I got 43, I'm like, dog, my sister died when she was 43. Are we going to make it? Are we going to live? And when I was talking to my other sisters, they felt the same way. I'm like, oh, wow, this is something deep. Yes.
Brandy.
Cassandra says on the live, she says, as far as the relationship, building the relationship with your mom, she said, just know that you are honoring God and your parent when you do that. And she said, this is what God is pleased with, reconciliation, and he'll help us.
Yes.
I think what happens is there's a fear there, and it shouldn't be, especially between parent and child. That should be the one of the safest places that you can go to, you know, as your parent. But because there have been walls built up and things that we thought we should have gotten and we didn't get, they didn't know, we hold these walls up against it. Somebody, Crystal on here says, let go of offense.
Yes.
So true. We can get offended by what we didn't get or what we think we should have gotten. And instead of releasing that and even, you know, having a conversation, fear holds us. Fear tries to hold us. So like you, Mama Vaughn, you said, you got to step out and just do it. Go cold.
Step out.
When you do that, the fear will leave. And you never know. You might get the apology. But Yanni, like you said, if you don't get it, that's just you releasing how you feel.
Exactly.
I think
I was a grown woman with two. I was a grown woman with 2 kids. I was a grown woman with 2 kids when I did this.
Yeah, I had my kids too. Yeah.
I think it's fear of the unknown on both parts, though.
Yeah.
It's on
the unknown.
You know, the parent could be fearful if they even feel some kind of way and they know you don't have a relationship, and then you on the other hand can be fearful. But I believe what we're talking about right now tonight is breaking down barriers. Because like Sandra said, that's a way you honor your mother. The word tells us to honor our mother and father. So that's a way of us honoring them, having that relationship with them.
Right.
What happens if, say, I drop the fear and I'm bold and I go and make that statement and I tell them, you know, what I feel, and they don't receive it or they don't receive it. So what do you do then? Do you keep pushing, or
you have been released?
You release
you have been released off of you. It's been released off of you. So it's how they accept you.
You have been released. But you still be as nice and as kind as you could be. Yes. Because if you ever hear, remember, we used to couldn't be in the room with grown folks, you know, because we weren't supposed to hear them conversations and stuff. But if you ever slipped and heard a conversation with some adults and they were talking about their children, you could hear, I could hear my mother say, now, Marilyn, that's the smart one right there. She'll do anything for you. She'll go that extra mile for you. I'm like, oh, so she knows that, huh? Or if she said something about my other sister, she would say, now she'll do this, she'll do that. Don't bother her because she'll get you, okay? Now, I'm like, oh wow, so they really do know, you know, and that'll make you proud of your parents, you know. I remember on holidays when my mother got older, on holidays, everybody would bring her a meal that they cooked, bring it to her house. And so that means she would have at least 6 or 7 or 8 different plates from everybody, okay? And she would not turn not one down. Bring it in, you know? So she had food for a long time, you know? And she really appreciated that, because my dad passed away in 78. My sister passed away in 77. He passed away in 78. So my mom was here with us a long time. She did the fruit of that labor for a long time, and she enjoyed that life, okay? Yes.
87 and 88.
Yeah, 87, 88. Okay, thank you.
But you have to understand, one thing you have to understand, sometimes because of the era that our parents was raised in,
yes,
and us up in, it was children to be seen and not heard. So I think sometimes we have that fear of expressing how we feel.
Right.
Because there was, when did somebody ask you how you felt, Yanni?
Never.
They did a long,
never.
A long time.
They didn't even ask me
You're
how.
Right. You're all right.
But when did somebody,
it was, my mom was always, girl, you all right? You all right? You know, and
she was affirming you.
Myself, she was affirming, like, you all right? You all right? Like, keep on ticking. You got it. Right. You know, but the thing that comes down to it, I think, as we become children, when we start talking to our parents.
Yeah,
and I feel like we go right into this mode of being a little child.
I think it's because too you don't want to disrespect. It's
you
like,
don't want to disrespect.
you're right.
You're not disrespecting them by expressing how you felt about a particular time.
Right.
But I can't say culturally, it is sometimes seen as disrespect when you go up.
It
can be, but you're also now an adult as well.
Right. But I think
watch your tone.
The way you say it, I believe it's a way you can have the conversation.
Right.
Watch your
and
tone.
it be a healthy conversation. You're not going to your mama like, girl, let me tell you what you did to me when I was a little kid, and you doing all this and being disrespectful. No, it's not that. It's like, Mom, I just need to talk to you. You know,
exactly.
Back growing up, I didn't understand, you know, how, you know, this happened. It's just ways you come to them and open it up. Like, what you know, what happened, you know, and ask the questions. Sometimes I think people are afraid of asking our parents, like, hey, and then my mom, when soon as I started talking, and anybody that know my mom was a straight shooter. Shoot from the hip. And I think I got a lot of her ways too, but
I'm a straight shooter.
She would shoot straight from the hip, and you would be almost like, oh Lord. But I appreciate it because she always told us she was our best friend because she was gonna always tell us the truth.
The truth.
Like Mama Vaughn said, though, I think that starting that relationship is very important, and even having the initiative from like a daughter standpoint, like if you do want to express things to your parent or to your mother, it's just like if you don't have that relationship, it becomes 10 times harder to even do that. So when it comes to little things like saying like, hey, let's go to the movies, hey, let's go out to eat, some of those things come up naturally without even you have to force it.
Correct. And I think it's all about just the environment and not coming in with the tone of I'm finna tell my mama something.
Yeah, with a guard up.
It's not
because you will get beat down at an adult age.
Right.
Girl.
You better not try it, okay? How you approach it. And
Smack
just
your
say,
teeth out your
sometimes
mouth.
change the scenery. Go to lunch. Go to dinner. Hey, Mom, just want to come pick you up and go shopping or something. Just ease the whole atmosphere to make it an easier conversation to start.
But still, I'm looking at Brina because she said the same thing that I'm feeling, which is there are still some people that are part of that older generation.
Yes.
You could sing a song, write a poem, and if you've shared your feelings and it is against however they feel things should have happened, they cannot, it just, because they feel like for them, it's like, I did the best I could, and the best I could was what I did. And that's the end of the conversation, and they don't want to
have to make peace with that.
Fine. And you can respect the fact that they feel that way, but I'm going to express how I felt being raised under.
You're going to die.
Well, we're adults. We're adults now. We're adults.
Me
and
personally,
I think you can have these conversations in a healthy way. Whether they, like I said, the whole objective is it's not for you to come in for an apology. It's to come so you can release yourself. So whether they apologize or not, is having the healthy conversation to express like that really hurt my feelings as growing up as a kid. And I need you to know that whether you apologize or not, you know it did. And I'm releasing myself of this offense so I can move forward in life unhindered.
Now, something Sharetta put on the feed, she says, or ask the question, how do you think our relationship is? Or how can we make it better?
It's fine.
We'll say, we're good. We're good.
Could it be better?
Yes, it could be.
Yeah.
Yes, it could be.
And I think
are you saying
Go ahead, Ebony.
I was gonna say, is that question, are you saying like our relationship now with our parents, like could it be better, or is that just
in the dialogue?
I think she was saying a way to ease into the conversation was to ask your mom that question. How do you think our relationship is, or do you think it could be better? If I guess as a starting,
that's a good segue. Yeah, that's a good segue.
Yeah.
And unless I say fine.
And then you have to look at how your parents was raised. Okay, my mother was an only child. Okay, and
mine was too.
She didn't have no brothers and sisters. Okay, and there was not a whole lot of them on my father's side. He had 3 sisters, and one had a lot of kids. One had 1 child. One had no kids. Okay, so no, we were not going to visit nobody. We didn't spend the night at nobody's house. And then I found out later on that when my mom was down south, you know how these women do stuff to their men,
I'm not ready.
They say they saw this stuff and this and the other. Oh no, you're not going over nobody's house. because they did not want you to see any of that or be involved in any of that. Okay.
And so we was just thinking y'all wouldn't let us go be with our cousins, and y'all had knew some stuff.
Right.
That's right.
No, I didn't see anything. I just felt that I bought a bed, you're gonna sleep in these beds. Like go sleep in somebody else's bed. My kids didn't spend the night. They didn't even spend the night with my mom.
Really?
That way I know what I'm right. Yeah.
Why
I bought those bunk beds and that go sleep. I don't know. I just wanted my kids with me. I just wanted them with me.
Okay, can I ask
why should they spend the night with everybody?
Give me a break, child, because I need a
reason, Kate. Give me a reason.
Okay,
I got a question.
I want to ask this too. You said they didn't spend the night with Granny, right? How would you feel if your 4 didn't spend the night with you?
Child.
Oh, I don't like that, but it was a lot of people at my mom's house. I was the oldest of 9.
Okay.
So it was a lot of people at my mom's house.
Okay.
First of all, they didn't have room for them anyway. So that's I think that's how I wind up with my grandma, because it was 8 of us then in a 2-bedroom apartment. So if I go with my grandma, I got my own bedroom.
Okay.
So that's where I was all my life with my grandma.
Okay.
When I got married, my grandma came with me until she died in her 90s.
Okay.
And I think that caused not having the relationship with my mom like I should have, because I was always with my grandma.
With your granny, right?
Now, do you think, like when you talk to Granny, do you think that she resented you for that, or that she felt some type of way that you didn't have that relationship with her, but you had a relationship with Mama Rob?
I think at first she might have, after I got older and married and had relationship with other women. I think she probably did. But as I was growing up, we was in the same building. I just was living with my grandma. But as I got older, I felt that she probably felt some type of way. I felt some type of way. Because when you're doing things, you know it's not right. The Holy Spirit will let you know. How I got a relationship with you and I'm having a relationship with my mom.
Exactly.
That didn't make sense to me. And I kept, and the Holy Spirit just let you know. And I'm like, I got to change this. So I did. And I'm glad I did. Yeah. I'm glad I did. Wow. I just kept my kids at home. I just felt they should be with me.
But, okay.
And like she said, everywhere I went, my kids went. We went to dinner. We went to church. We was at church 90% of the time. The other 10%, we was eating dinner, whatever. So you didn't go to sleep, We was at church 90% of the time.
So Mama Vaughn, do you think that you kept the boys with you because you didn't want them to experience how you felt being with your grandmother and not being connected to your mom?
Could have been.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because my grandmother was always there. She lived with me from the time I got married.
No. I'm saying, do you think
my grandma?
I'm saying, do you think you kept the boys with you and they didn't?
My mom. Oh, yeah. I would have felt some type of way. No, I don't think so. I just felt how I wanted to train and raise my kids. I didn't want you to hear something on the outside that I wouldn't.
Okay.
You saying it. You saying yes.
Different.
You saying yes.
I'm raising you in a Christian home, and this is what I want your ears to hear.
Right.
I don't want you to be over there and it makes this one's father is saying something that I don't want you to hear that. So I just had in my mindset, I bought these beds. Y'all don't need to go sleep in.
I was just gonna say, doggone, your head gonna lay down here. Right here. So now I know you being trained right. Your ear gates is hearing what I want you to hear.
Right. That's true.
I think my mom used to be dating. That used to be the thing.
And the way they daddy was, if something had happened, it wouldn't have been good.
Right.
It wouldn't have been good. So it's best you stay right here in this house.
It's best you stay right here.
Best you stay here in the house. Right. The Lord, he could go from 10 to 500 in a second. Don't mess with his wife and don't mess with his kids.
So basically, you trained them, or you gave them better than what you had, which
exactly.
is how you started out.
And that's what I wanted. And I wanted them to go to private schools, and we did. Sometimes we struggled, but they went through private school. This is what I had in my mind I wanted to do, and this is what we're going to do.
Right.
And I was married to a man that was behind me 100%. I was behind him. And coming up in life, like you had a question about what your mom, you wanted your mom to teach you. She didn't teach me to, I seen my mom worry. So she didn't teach me not to worry.
Okay.
So I worried a lot when things wasn't happening, but I always had my husband, he always would say, I got this. I got you and the boys. Don't worry about it. I got this. Thing. And that's why he worked so much. He said, I got this. And then he would say, don't worry. Let me worry. Exactly. You don't worry about it. Let me worry about it. And I'm like, but we shouldn't be worrying at all. But if you want to worry, but this is what he would say. And he would do it. He made sure we taking the kids on vacation every year. We went on a family vacation. We didn't miss it. And he would say, I got this. Don't worry. And he would go out and whatever he had to do to get that money to work, he worked 3 jobs or whatever. He got that money to do what we needed to do.
Wow.
He got that money to do what we needed to do.
Yeah. And I think that's still interesting too. Yanni, you said this, you were saying like how your mom interacted with you. And then you was like, but your dad came in, and then that speaks to how the family is supposed to be. Because if one person is one way, the other person can balance it out. So technically, you shouldn't be missing anything. Nothing missing, nothing broken.
Right.
So like, I think that's what a lot of us miss when we don't have that 2-parent home, like that dad and that mom, because mom is running around, like you said, fussing and doing whatever she's doing, trying to make it all work.
Right.
Trying to make it all work. Yeah.
Somebody is the nurturer and somebody is the provider.
Right. He definitely was a provider. He was the provider.
So,
and sometimes I think he worked so many jobs. Sometimes I think he missed out on some parts with the boys.
Yeah,
and I think it shows now. You know what I'm saying? Because he's still like that. He still works just like that. Like he's going to retire at the end of the year. I want to see this. I don't know what he's going to do.
My dad just retired 2 years ago. Just retired.
He cannot be still. He cannot sit down. And he's been like that. So
man don't work, a man don't eat.
Miss
a lot
out
of believe that.
On parts with your boys. On some relationships, I think it could have been better. That's because he was always working. He was always gone. So they was with me.
Because he had it.
Except when we at church or something like that. Huh?
Because he got it. He had it. He had to.
What'd you say, Pastor London?
Because he had it. He told you, I got you. I got y'all. So he had to do what he had to do.
I got you. Yeah.
So what about the ones, I know we mentioned about the 2-parent home. So the nurturer and the provider. So what about the girls that didn't have that 2-parent home? Like me. My father wasn't in my life.
Wow.
You know? So things that he should have taught me. My mom was the nurturer, and my mom was affectionate. You know, she was affectionate. So that's how I became affectionate. So I didn't have that, you know, non-affection in my house, but I didn't have that male figure in my house. And I think for me, it caused me to go different ways because I didn't have that man to say, hey, don't do this or watch this or watch that. So I'm experimenting on my own, you know, and it's by God's grace that I'm here on this live talking to y'all tonight. But there are a lot of women that go through that didn't have a father in their lives.
Right.
So how do we like reconcile that for the women that, you know, might still be
searching
with that?
Searching.
Child, listen. I think the Lord provides. I know that sounds, you know, cliche.
No, it don't, but that's
he provides if you ask. And you got to know that you're missing something in your life, okay? You got to know you're missing something.
But what if I don't know I'm missing nothing?
Well, you know that something is not adding up, okay? I'm a single parent.
My dysfunction is normal.
Okay,
I don't know it's not normal until I get out there in the world and I see other folks, and then I'll be like, oh, you had a daddy and y'all did what? Shut up.
But okay, that's why God will show you. Okay, I'm telling you, He will show. Even when they out here, have you ever been to a bar and you seen these women? Not all of them.
What bar?
Have you ever been to a party? Let me say, have you ever been to a party and some women come in and they be ready, you know, they just be doing it and having a good time and this and the other. Yeah. They're looking for something, okay? They're missing something. Because every woman that goes out and party does not do that. Sometimes you go out and you party and you sit down and you have a good time. If the guy asks you to dance, you might not. But you're not all floused up. You're not all everything ain't going and da-da-da-da-da. You see what I'm saying? And it makes a difference. Look, and sometimes they show out so bad, it'll make you go home, okay? Look, I'm finna go. I'll talk to y'all later, okay? Right. Because, and that's how you know, and you be like, God, I need to get out of here because this is not what I'm supposed to be. And then eventually, because I have prayed for women in the bar, okay? Because they are missing something and they know you have a light, okay? Because they say, let your light so shine before men, okay? And look, they'll say, can I talk to you? Sure, you can talk to me. Well, so. Come on, let's go over here and let's pray about this thing, okay? Because that's what's going to happen. And get you in a little corner and we'll pray about it, or either I'll take it to my car and put that blessed oil on you and we go back in there like it's okay. Like nothing ever happened. And they will be
head and all.
Look, they'll be forever grateful. They were forever grateful that you came in and helped them out. Oh yeah, you know. And there's a reason. There's a reason why you're put in some people's lives. You know, Ebony has a lot of friends, lots and lots and lots of friends, and Jawan had lots of friends. Okay, my house used to be the house. Okay, even though I was single, look. I kept a picture of Kool-Aid all the time, okay? Red Kool-Aid, okay? Everybody would come to my house. Everybody would come to my house. And they would talk to her. But they knew it was a safe place, okay? It was a safe place. And those people now, hey, mama, hey, mama, hey, mama. That's it. You know, but you put it out there. And that's the kind of life it is.
So Ebony, I want to ask you this: since your mom was single, she was single still when she had you?
So she was. However, she did marry my father
when you were 8 months old.
Mm-hmm. And they stayed together until they never divorced, but they separated when I was 3 years old. I'll never forget the day. I can see it vividly in my mind of my dad packing up and leaving his stuff. I remember where we lived. We lived on Lawndale and Harrison, right by the Elgin milk place, right there. I'll never forget it. But I also remember that, like, I remember when I was younger, it took them a minute, like they tried to work it out and then it didn't work. And it took them a minute to find their balance. But for me, I know that, well, I thought that my what's the word I'm looking for? My mission in life was to get them back together. So like my dad would pick me up on Saturdays. We would spend the weekend together. He took me to ballet class every Saturday. We definitely spent time together. If there was an event going on, he would come to the event. And I would always talk to him about getting back together with my mom. I also remember, y'all, this is bad. Parents, talk to your children about this. So I remember that there were probably only one or two guys that I really remember my mom dating. And I remember we went to a restaurant and I acted a fool, y'all. I acted a plum fool.
I didn't know Black kids got to do stuff like that.
On this here sit down date, me and my brother and my mama and her boyfriend, I acted a fool because in my mind, I felt like my mother should be with my father. That was so, but I mean, in hindsight, I wish, I didn't, but things work out the way they're supposed to. But I will say that what I could appreciate is they found a way to make it work, to communicate, to be with me, to, you know, come to events together, to show up for me, or to, you know, if mom had to work, dad came and got me. And my dad didn't have a car, so he was like getting on the bus to come and get me, to take me to basketball games and all that stuff. So I just was glad to see them learn how to figure out how to communicate, which taught me how to communicate and be able to voice my opinion or talk to my spouse, or, you know, the person I was in a relationship with, to, because you got to be able to talk. Communication is the biggest thing. And I think that's what we're lacking so much in relationships, even sometimes in marriages now. Like, it's, some people, you know, kind of find it hard to communicate, but I think watching them, and I believe when they became grandparents, when my children were born, like, I believe they even became closer. Like, they were starting to be, to me, like best friends. It was funny, like that, how they were able to get together for me and for our children. So seeing them work it out and learn how to co-parent together was amazing.
Cool. Wow. Listen, grandparent life always better. And I just be like, who are you, woman? I don't know you. And y'all just y'all. Go ahead.
I will say, like, my mom didn't withhold anything. This is funny, because when we were growing up, like, say if I got in trouble, there was no punishment. Like, she dealt with the situation, whether she reprimanded me or she had a serious conversation or I got a whooping, but it was handled right then and there. And then we moved on. I only remember one time that she kind of, like, she did not talk to me. It was probably like a week she didn't talk to me. Ooh, and I knew, I was like,
so you
I would
did
never
get
do
on
whatever that wasn't. But no, like, there was no punishment. Because we were always on the go. We were always doing stuff. So it wasn't no, you grounded for a week, you're not going nowhere. She dealt with me. We had that conversation.
My mother would take the phone and put it in the trunk of the car. What?
I mean, like, but I wasn't bad. I wasn't bad to that extent.
Like,
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, I don't remember doing anything to that extent where, like, the phone had to be taken away. I mean, when I was like junior year, senior year of high school, I maybe tested a little bit the waters, but for the most part, like, I saw my brother, I saw him cutting up, I saw all that went down with him. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, I want my freedom. I want to be able to go out with my friends. I want to be able to go to the basketball games. Like, I want to, you know, I was in dancing, I was cheerleading, I played that. Like, I did everything. So no time. I ain't got time to be losing my, you know, freedom. No, I ain't got time for that. I'm not gonna keep the car out later than she said. I'm gonna put some gas in the car and bring it back so I could get again. I was trying to do what I need to do to keep this ball rolling.
That phone was in the trunk of the car, baby. Listen.
You mentioned about grandchildren. I want to ask the two grandmothers on the call.
Oh,
Lord. Having grandchildren, is that a second chance for you to get it right? Well, why do you treat your grandchildren differently than you treat children?
Well, I got two grandkids that I almost raised them, because Joanna will be 30. She'll be 30 in October. Now, when my son had her, she was at our house every weekend. Every weekend she was at our house, okay? And I was able to instill in her some things because she went to church with us and everything, okay? She was able to get that beginning, nurturing in her life, okay? About the word and scriptures and different things. Now, if she act up now, it ain't because she don't know, okay? It's because she out here doing what she do. And we have talked about some things like being battered or whatever, you know, we've talked about that. But I told her, look, I can't tell you to leave the guy because you ain't ready to leave the guy. But I can say he don't need to be putting his hands on you, and you know better. You've never seen me go through that. You've never seen your aunt go through that. You've never seen nobody on my side of the family get their butt whooped. Okay. Now, when you get it together, I'm ready. I'm here for you. When you decide that you are through with that, I am here for you. And when she decided she was through with that, here she come. And I was so happy for her. We hugged and everything. But I think she went back to the guy, but regardless of the fact, at least she, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know. But
is it a second chance though?
Like, I'm just so softy when it comes to my grandkids.
Why? How did it become so different?
But I do not, if we're in the car and I take them somewhere, we do have our talks. But when it comes down to it, I don't know. I don't know why it's like that.
Well, whatever.
I know.
Those are my babies. I don't know.
And we were.
No, I'm just a softie when it comes down to them.
Now I'm kind of a softie with Sanaa and Dexter, but Sanaa got a whooping today, y'all. Yes, she did. She got a whooping today.
I'm a court mandated reporter, Miss Marilyn.
I don't care. I am a mandated reporter. Okay.
I don't care.
We were in 7-Eleven, and no, I was sitting in the car with the dog, and she went in 7-Eleven. You know, she didn't get my points. I gave her a 20, and she come out with $2. I'm like, what is this? So I go in there, and the woman said, well, she only got 3 things. You know, it's high. I said, no. And I went back. I'm like, Sanaa, I see 10 wings. You know about chicken wings from here. I went back in there and got my money, okay? Then when I got in the car, I tapped her and told her, look, you need to be adding this up. You need to be figuring this out. You don't come out the store without my money, girl.
But she created that monster. She created that monster.
But look, I tapped them ladies today too, okay? I'm like, look. You pay attention. You need to add this stuff up. You know I gave you a $20 bill and you come out with $2. Come on now. Stop that.
I say that to my mom all the time because every now and then her and Brianna, because Brianna's about to be, 23 in September, and they'll travel together. And they are like Pastor London, how you say you and Justin are oil and vinegar. I don't know why they bother traveling together because on day 2, they're calling me my mama and your mama. And I'm just like, both of y'all. And she's like, she's still spoiled. And I just slow blink at her like, and I wonder who made her that way.
Who created the monster?
Right. Because it was absolutely her.
Every week.
You all will see when you get grandkids, you'll see.
There's a flip switch. Like, is there a switch and it goes up as soon as they go over?
Yeah. But now you know what? I'm not scared to put them in their place, so I'll jack them up. Okay.
I mean, if they do something wrong, I'll tell them. But I'm just a softie when it comes to them.
Have you ever whooped them?
Yes, I have. Look, I got about 7-8 grandkids. Okay.
No, Mama Vine.
El Divine. You ever whooped them?
They all came up in my daycare, so tap those.
Is that a yes or a no?
That's a yes.
What? I didn't hear the question. What did you say?
Have you ever whooped your grandkids?
Yes, I have.
What's a whooping, Mama
Go
Vine?
to the next question.
Or are you like my mother? My mother would call me and she'll say, Ebony, when you come get these kids, you need to whoop her, or you need to get her, or you need to get him. Why won't you? Well, you would get me where I did it at. That's where I got that from. We gonna nip this in the bud right here, and then we gonna move on. But now you didn't put your gun away. All your ammo is out the gun, and now
I pull the gun out sometimes. Okay,
very few. I love you.
Now, ever since we've been on this pandemic, once a week, I go to McDonald's and spend between $22 and $25 on 2 people, and I take it to their house, and I come home. We live 2 blocks apart, okay? At least once a week.
When we was kids, Miss Marilyn, y'all didn't have McDonald's money. Remember that?
You better say it again.
Hey.
That's why we can spend it on the grandkids now if they want to go out.
I
take Steak and Shake. We go to Steak and Shake.
But you know what? My kids
whatever. We have our conversations.
They go to get a shake and they come back with a burger and fries and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But my kids was like that too. They did not want for anything. Okay.
That's what y'all say. That's what y'all say.
No. Both of my kids had a TV in their room when they was little. Okay.
Oh, I couldn't have no TV, baby.
They had their own TV in their own junky bedrooms. Okay. Yes.
So there was money for McDonald's?
If we were on the go, because Ebony led a busy life, and in between class and stairway, yeah, we stopped off and got something.
Mama Vaughn, was there money for McDonald's, or y'all gonna eat burgers here?
No, it was money. We went out to dinner a lot.
I didn't say dinner. I said McDonald's.
Yeah, they could get McDonald's, yeah.
And then all of my grandkids came up in my daycare too.
Next question.
The answer to that question
Leave the grandkids alone.
Yes, Pastor London. The answer to that question is yes. They spoil all the grandkids.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
They leave the hard work for us. We still got to parent.
But
yes, and then they get mad at us when we parent, and they be
no,
like, why are you
no.
treating them like that?
No, I
Why
don't.
are you treating them like that? And you like, hello. I remember
Is this the same person that raised me? Not me.
I don't say anything. I back them parents up, okay? I back them up, okay? Whatever your mama tell you and your daddy say, you better do what they said, okay? You better do it.
But don't get in no trouble now. Listen,
Hold on.
you know they gonna be
I'm gonna tell.
You are a good tattleteller. Oh, she will.
I would tell, yes. I'll tell it. Yes,
Mama Vaughn, do you get
I
upset
would
with them
say
when
it.
they get the kids?
Huh?
When they get on the boys? Do you get upset with them when they get on the boys?
I don't get upset. They need
Look at her. You already know that.
Yes, she do. You can see it.
I don't get upset. They need it.
Oh,
Yes,
Mama,
indeed. Yes.
I don't know why. I can't give you an answer. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Because I promise, my mom was the super strict mom. And she will get on me, huh? Super strict. My mom was in the army, and listen.
Oh yeah.
So when she gets on me for getting on the girls, she's just like, sometimes you're just so mean to them. I'm like,
what you say?
A mess. Those girls have her wrapped around their finger.
Your day is coming. Your day is coming.
Yeah.
Your day is coming. You're going to be grandparents one day, and you're going to look back on this conversation.
And what am I going to say?
I'm like, oh, that's what Mama Vaughn was talking about.
But you know what? I think it depends, because I think I got about 9 grandkids, and Dexter and Sanaa are the youngest 2. Now the older kids, and I treated them all the same, but these last 2 right here, oh my goodness, these last 2.
They reaping.
And then it's like for the past couple of weeks, I've really been kind of getting soft, because Dexter's gonna go away to school. I mean, not an hour away, but away, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss him. Every week I buy him a bag of grapes, every week. And then if I got some grapes at my house, he come down here and get my grapes, okay?
So
And
is
so
there
now,
a distinction? Is there a distinction with the kids, Miss Marilyn?
No, and then
the older ones got a different you.
Well, see, the older ones are gone. They 30, 23, 20, 27. They gone. And then every week I cut up Sanaa apple and slice it and put it in a baggie. Okay.
What is wrong? What do y'all? What? Who are y'all?
But see, they came up during the daycare too, and I always cut up apples in the daycare. Okay. And put the cut up apples on the table, and all the kids get the apples. And when they leave and go home, Sanaa take all the apples with her. Okay.
I can't. Y'all are. Okay, here's the question. I'm an only child, so I wouldn't. Well, kind of an only child. But listen, my life is real strange.
Yeah, because you were much older than him. You had a whole life you had a whole life to yourself before he came along. I got you.
4 years between my little brother and my twin.
Right.
Yeah. So my question is, when y'all had these children, is there a distinction between the oldest and the baby?
You know, I spoil both of my kids, okay?
Uh-oh.
Yes,
and there's a lean in.
Yes.
We can't hear you, Miss Marilyn. Listen.
We lost you, Mom.
I don't make a difference. I love them both.
That's what everybody say. But now
I love them both.
Listen.
You love them both, but are they
and I'll do whatever I need. I'm going to support them both.
I don't take up for you and your wrongdoing, okay? I don't do that.
Right.
I don't do that.
So do you feel like one maybe needs more than the other one? So you're giving to one more than you give to the other one?
No, because when I went to the store, if this is what you need, you got this, but I would buy this one something too. So hey, everybody came out with something, okay? I ain't do that.
I would say from what I felt, I guess because I had a brother, so it's a difference because boys get to do certain things and girls get to do. There are certain things that girls shouldn't do that boys, can do. So, in hindsight, I get it because I have, the girls and the boys, and then age is a difference too. My brother is 4.5 years older than me, so he was doing things where I was a little younger. I do think my brother blamed a lot of stuff on me when we were younger. So like if my mom was at work, because my mom did work a lot, like if she was at work and she came home and something was supposed to be done, I would do my thing. And she wouldn't say like, okay, you do this and you do this. The house just needs to be clean. Or, you take care of what you're supposed to take care of. So I would do my thing, but he wouldn't do his thing. So everybody getting a whooping, but then he would go, well, she didn't do her. So I think I got a little more, but we had this conversation. That was just one of those conversations where I kind of had to say, hey, Ma, I felt like, Jawan got a little bit more of this or this and that. And she was very honest with me on, she didn't see that piece and then like, what I want to say, respecting my feelings. And, us talking it through. So I think that was a really good thing for me to be able to, kind of share that part. But in hindsight, having boys and girls, there are some things that boys can do that girls can do and vice versa. Really? And there are some things that is saved for age. Like at this age, you can't do X, Y, and Z. And so later on in life, when you become this age, then maybe you can go hang out with your friends, or maybe you can do this, or maybe you can go this place. But right now, this ain't where you at.
I think the parents usually put more weight on the oldest child. Mm-hmm. A lot of times they had to, if mama wasn't there, they had to start cooking. They had to do some different things and tend to the younger ones that's younger. I think they raised them a little bit differently than the youngest, because I'm the youngest out of my family, and all the my own sisters. Listen, that's the Lord maturing. But my oldest sister, she, like my mom at 9, she was cooking. She was making sure everybody was good because my mom and dad was at work. So I think she was the second mama. Like she was like the big sister, second mama type of thing, and made sure, hey, we was all together good. So I think they raised them to be more leaders, made it to be independent. It was just structured differently, opposed to me myself. I was just like, hey, I'm the little kid. Y'all pay me to do y'all chores. I was just a little different. Listen, I'm just telling
Mama Vi.
Yes.
Did you treat them different?
I don't think so. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me?
Hit it on the head, maybe. I think when you have that first one, you may be tougher on that first one. And it could be because you want to follow all the rules. Like I know with me, Justin, he was the first one. So even when I was pregnant, I followed all the rules. I ate what I was supposed to eat. The next one got slighted because I had this thing in the bag. I knew what I was doing. I thought I did.
The commercial is like that. There's a commercial where the lady is like,
Yeah.
What you got to do to take care of the baby.
Stuff, right.
Yes.
We only use organic.
Right. And then the little girl come with a nose and with a ring nose, and she's like, "You might want to take that out because he grabbed stuff, and here you go." I'm gone. Right.
So I think maybe because you're new at it, you do more, you put more in, and then once you figure you got that together, then the second,
right.
And it might not be intentional.
Second 9 months is just
yeah.
How many years is in between them, Mama Vaughn?
I don't know. I think
it's 5 years.
See, and I think circumstances plays a lot in that too. So there's 9 years between my girls, and I had Brianna at 17. So Brianna and Cameron got two different mothers, and it wasn't intentional. But 17-year-old Brandy and 26-year-old Brandy are two completely different people. So it's not like I was trying to treat them differently, but I was a different woman when I became their mother. So I think circumstances makes a difference as well.
Listen, my mother is a whole different chick, and I'm gonna say chick because I'm like, who are you? She's like, I mean, what are you talking about? I'm the same woman. No, well, you're not.
Different. Yeah, you're right. You are.
It's different.
I don't know this lady.
Well, you know what? Even the pregnancies were different with the babies because with Jawan, bam, I went in and he was born like maybe 45 minutes later. Ebony, on the other hand, that was a whole different. I went to the hospital 4 times with Ebony. And the time I was supposed to go, I didn't want to go, okay? Because I said, they're going to send me back home, but they didn't. But I was still in labor a long time with Ebony, but it worked out.
Now, Sharetta said something to kind of go with what I just said. She said, yes, the oldest gets it, baby. We were the test dummies.
Yes.
No.
Let's try this and see if it'll work.
No.
They're saying, Courtney says, older children have more responsibility.
I believe that.
Oh my God. Listen,
Mine had the same responsibilities. This is your week to wash the dishes. This is your week to take out the garbage.
Wow.
They had the same, as when they got up age where they could take out the garbage, then you had the same
responsibility.
Now I made the boy take out the garbage, okay?
Well, I had 2 boys.
Right.
I had 2 boys.
Ebony ain't did no housework. Don't let her fool y'all. Ebony ain't did no housework.
Yes, I did.
Listen, at 9, I
Wait a
was
minute.
washing clothes. I was living a life. And listen,
Same.
girl, and my little brother, she like, he hasn't learned to do laundry yet. I'm like, he's going to college, ma'am. What's he going to do? I mean, he doesn't have to do that because, that's just too much for him. Who are you?
Hey, I like that. Who are you?
It was like that for us
I don't
too.
know you. I don't know you, woman.
But the best thing, I'm glad Ebony went away to college. And I really wanted her to go away because I think that they should go. I think they should go so they can learn how to live life, okay? Because it really helps, okay? It really helps. Now, she might have been kind of far, but it was good. It was good. I think
Why though?
Why?
Yeah.
I think it helps in your upbringing. I'm not talking about if you go out there and get a hold to the bad stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that college is good for you because it helps you learn some stuff, because you can get some bad stuff right here and don't even have to go away to college, but it helps you in your learning and your understanding. Then you meet people from all over the place, from everywhere, and it really helps. I think it helps. Okay. That's me. If I had some more kids now, they going away to college. Okay. You going.
Why would you say that? Why would you say if you had some more kids now?
If I had another baby, he would go to college.
Why would we say that though?
Because I'd make sure he go to college. Okay. I'd make sure. Yes.
Okay. No more kids?
No more for me.
No more for me.
I remember you saying that. That ain't coming out of my mouth. This lock with a chain on it, honey.
Say gonna change? What is happening?
No more. No more.
Yes.
So, ladies
You
that
about
are
to
watching on this call, let us know you're enjoying this conversation, because I know we are enjoying this conversation here.
Yes.
We're enjoying the wisdom from our seasoned mamas. We're enjoying it. We're enjoying what they learn and what they can teach us. But before we go, I know we've been on here an hour and 40 minutes, but before we go, I want both of you to kind of just share one thing, maybe one thing that you can impart, other than what you've already said, but one thing that you can impart into lives now, whether it be girls, maybe young girls, or even our age girls. What's one thing that you would want another child or another girl, boy to know from your experiences, or from, whatever? What's one thing that you would want us all to know?
I would want you all to know that you could come to me with anything, and I can make sure that you could bring it to me, okay? I can hug you, I can love on you, I can feed you good, I can make sure you're straight. Bring it, talk to me before you talk to anybody else. And you will be fine. You'll be fine.
The one thing I would want the ladies to know, have confidence in yourself.
Yes.
Be the best you can be, the best, not trying to be what somebody else is.
Yes.
You are wonderfully made. God made you, he formed you in your mother's womb.
Right.
And when you came out, hey, you are you the best you can be. Don't try to be other people. And it's so many minutes in a day. Make the best of every minute. Make the best of every moment. Live your life the way God intended. I always thought I was too tall. I was too skinny. My feet was too big. But now, at 65, things don't even matter. I am who I am.
Yes.
You take it or leave it. I am who I am. And I mean, just how it's so many women trying to be somebody else.
That you're not, right.
Something that you're not. God made you. Yeah. I don't care if your lips big or small, your butt big or small, your breast big or small. Deal with what you got.
You are, yes.
You are who you are, and be the best you can be.
And be the best at who you are. Yeah.
Be the best you can be. Build your world around you. Your thinking and what you speak out of your mouth, it makes a difference. I've been through things in my life, and I got a journal, and I would write down like I'm talking to God. I would write it in the journal. And everything that you go through with your mate, everybody don't have to know that.
Right.
It could be you and him. Don't go telling everybody else what you're going through with your mate. I never did that. I got a journal and I wrote it down. God, such and such this day. Such and such this day. God, would you do this? God, I want you to do this. And I started seeing things happen. I made mistakes coming up. I made financial mistakes, but I learned from those mistakes. I learned from those. And I told my sister I was beautiful, and I had confidence. I had to learn that. I didn't always have that.
I can't even imagine.
You can't imagine me?
Not having confidence? No.
Well, I'm telling you, I was an introvert. I'm an introvert. I'm telling you that.
I just want the record to show that she said she was. I told y'all there ain't no introvert.
I think I am. I think I still am, Tim.
And the Lord changed you. He changed you, oh God.
He changed me.
Yes.
I wasn't the person to go out in the street and party and do this and do that. All I wanted to do was be in the house.
You could be a homebody. That doesn't make you an introvert.
Well, I was a homebody then. I was a homebody. Yeah. I was a homebody.
You're a home girl. All right.
Can't leave mama.
But just be the best you can be. Just be the best that you can be.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you're going to realize things just don't even matter. Things that bothered you when you were younger, like now, it just don't even matter. It don't matter.
And when you get in your 50s, it really don't matter. In your 60s, it definitely don't matter.
It definitely don't matter.
It really, go ahead on and do your thing, okay? Yes.
I love y'all.
Mm-hmm.
If we can get a hold of that at our ages now, we will be a whole lot better.
Girl.
Yeah, because now is so much complaining and in the world, everything got to be so fast. And if you think about the ancestors, they had nothing, they had little, but they used what they had with faith in God, and they made it happen. Yeah. But we got so many resources, so many different things. Even now, you all have resources that I didn't have coming up to talk about marriage and stuff like that. I learned from situations, and it's seasons in life. You're going to go through seasons. You're going to go through phases in your life, and you just got to go through them. And you're going to learn from that. There's a season.
Yes, it is.
My marriage went from season to season. I went through this, I went through that, but I had to learn. I didn't go run and talk to, and I'm not against counseling. If that's what you need, that's what you need. I went to God, and I walked through every phase of my marriage. That's why it was 46 years in April. The same man since 5th grade. Wow. The same man.
Why we do it?
I thank God, and I think that's that whole setup. That was God. That was God.
Yeah.
I didn't know what love was. I didn't have parents to tell me about all that. I learned. I walked through it.
And back then, they weren't telling you what love was. Okay. Back then.
No, and we didn't know what love was. We just knew we liked each other, and hey.
And still 46 years later.
46 years later. But there's seasons. There's different seasons you're going to go through in your marriage. There's different seasons you're going to go through. But you got to talk about them, and you just got to walk through them. Stop running telling everybody. That's one thing I never did.
Well, I got a bunch of sisters and we talk about it.
If you want to do that, that's fine. That's something I didn't do.
Right.
If you want to go talk to an elder, you can talk to an elder.
Okay. Because I was going to come tell you, child, what had happened.
You can come tell me. You can come tell me.
And you know that it'll be in confidence too, because you can't trust everybody, especially with your marriage. You cannot trust everybody to talk about what's going on in your marriage or in your life, period. You have to be careful and guard your mouth.
Right. You have to be careful. And things happen in your life, you just have to go through them. And you're going to learn from them. I've learned a lot.
Yes, I have too.
A lot.
It's a wonderful life, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
It's a wonderful life. Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot.
Listen, I have enjoyed myself tonight. Ladies, I want to keep you on here much longer, but if you have enjoyed tonight, give us some hearts, some claps, something on this comment, just to let us know that you have enjoyed this cup of wisdom tonight. So we honor these two ladies for being on here with us and sharing with us. And sometimes, you know, we go through things and we don't want to share, but we honor you and we thank you all for sharing a part of your lives with us. That can help us, you know, to be our best self. That can help us still, even at this age, not to go through things that you've gone through or whatever. So we do appreciate you. We love you both.
We love you too.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Love you.
But I think before we get off of here, I want to make sure that we get a lot of hearts, we getting a lot of likes. They're saying thank you, ladies, good time. Charlie Brown got a real laugh, you know. So, ladies, before you get off here tonight, make sure you're sewing into winning women. So we have multiple ways that you can give.
Right.
So that should be put up on the screen shortly. But make sure you're giving, you know, to winning women. Right. And once we come back together, we gonna have a big shebang, you know.
Man,
we can do it. But we want you to know that these ladies have been a blessing to us tonight, and we want you all to be a blessing to winning women. And then just make sure today is Friday. So Sunday we have church at home if you're a partner with Lifeline Church. So if you're a partner, whatever we have with Lifeline Church, we expect you as pastors to log in, to share it, to, let us know you're watching or whatever. Because this is the time that we get to connect with our partners, because we can't come physically together. So make sure you are joining us for our church at home online experience Sundays at 10 a.m. So if that is all, I think we've covered everything. Anybody else have anything final to say? What's your question, Kay?
Are we coming back for June? Do the people want us back?
That's a good question. That was
I wonder.
I want you back. I love it on Friday nights. Yes.
Dana, yes, you can sow to women's ministry. That's where you can sow online.
Yes, I like it.
Asking ladies, do you still want us to come back in June? We're not sure like how this, pandemic is going, when we getting out for sure and all of that, but we have set aside Friday Night Live. So if you still want us to come back, let us know. Let us know in the comments. Hey, come on back for June. Technically, this is the last Friday in May.
Yes, so, it is.
Oh, we got yes, come back. Mr. from Hawaii saying, come back. He said, please come back. Okay.
Yes.
We got to come back with girl chat.
I like it.
But how many of you want to come back with a seasoned girl chat? I think we just top or hit the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
And I always say for seasoned saints, we mentioned like last year we celebrated like 4 or 5 seasoned saints, so we call them the Titus 2 women. And so that's one thing that I want to make sure that as young women, we are getting, Yanni calls it pearls of wisdom. We are getting these pearls of wisdom to live our lives more fully. We still don't know it all at our age, and we still have things that we can learn from our elders. So I think we can have another chat with the
another cup of wisdom.
Another cup of wisdom, or call it some other kind of wisdom or whatever. Wisdom for all, something. I think it's needed. We can have a nice chat, and to kind of mesh the two, because like Sharetta, I mentioned earlier, Sharetta mentioned how our mothers just took us as far as they could go, and now it's our opportunity or our job to take them further. So I think even these calls, these chats can take our seasoned ladies further than they even thought that they can go. So I think it's like reciprocity. They're helping us, we're helping them.
Yes.
So, I wonder if they'll go braless with us.
I don't think so.
What you say, Kay?
Go braless.
I wonder if they'll go braless with us.
Oh, right. The Braless Nation. Come on.
The Braless Nation. Come join us.
No. That's the lane I'm not going down.
No, we putting on our clothes. No.
I can change lanes, but that's one lane I'm not going down.
Keep them up.
You will feel so much better.
No, with my clothes on, okay? The old people used to say you'll lose your face. No.
Listen.
I love this.
Latrina says, winning women with seasoned secrets.
Come on.
I like that.
Come on, shenanigans.
Y'all gonna share us some of them secrets?
They got them, honey. They got them. I've been there for 46 years without no secrets.
I like this. We got to have y'all back on and add some more too. Yeah. So, like I said, ladies, it's 8:54. We are just under 2 hours. And I believe we have had a great time tonight.
Yes.
It's just like I started off, it's just something to take our minds off of what's going on in the world. We know a whole bunch is going on, but when we can carve out certain times to just chat and just to be ourselves, let our hair down, shave it off, whatever you got to do. I think that's a good thing. So again, thank you, ladies. Thank you, Mama Vaughn. Thank you, Mama Marilyn, for coming on and sharing with us. We love you all. This is my second close, but we love you all so much. And we're gonna have y'all back on for real. We'll let y'all know when, but we're gonna have y'all back on with some other ones that's a little spicy. We got some more spicy. We're gonna get some more spicy ones on here, but we need some mild ones too that don't say much, but they pack a punch when they do.
Yeah.
But yeah. So ladies,
that's me. I'm Mal. I'm Mal.
No.
You what?
No.
I'm Mal.
No.
I pack a punch.
She's speaking it. She's
speaking it. I'm Mal. You don't think I'm Mal, Kay?
Straight with no chaser, baby. Straight with no chaser.
Mama Vaughn, if you mild, I'm scared of spicy.
Right.
Listen.
Guns blazing, baby. Guns blazing. I got a man. You need to get you one.
Uh-oh.
I'm never letting that go.
Oh, did I say that?
Did she clutch her pearls?
She clutched them for real, Brandy.
Did I say that? I'm gonna help you, Kay. I'm gonna help you.
Okay, y'all.
We're gonna talk offline.
Right,
I'm gonna help you.
We
going to talk offline. We can't let the people know all my business.
We going left. We going left.
We going left.
We all the way around the corner.
All right.
Right.
So, third closing. Good night, ladies.
Good night.
We love you.
Good night.
And as I always say, I love you, Bobby.
Love you, mama.
Get off this call, because no